Hey guys, this is Minnie here and welcome back to my channel Mini Motivational Video. Today's book summary is 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. At the end of this book summary, you'll know in order to be successful what good habits you need to possess. So let's begin. Habit number 1. Be proactive. The first thing Covey talks about in the book is self-awareness. What is actually self-awareness? Self-awareness is the ability to think about your very thought process. You can be aware of your thoughts and can feel separated from that. This is the reason why man has dominion over all the things in the world and what makes him different from animal world. It is as simple as that. Animals can't keep the track of their thoughts and even can't feel separated themselves from that. This is what makes us different from other living creatures in the world. After understanding about self-awareness, we can now understand what is being proactive means. Proactivity means taking responsibility for our own lives. Instead of just reacting to any situation without giving a thought, we can in fact watch our thoughts and change our reaction into a positive and more meaningful one. Like for example, I remember my grandpa always used to tell us that how in their time everything used to cost few cents and how everything has changed now. Instead of changing according to the situation and taking responsibility of how he can make best use out of the situation, he always used to complain and feel miserable and blames either the government, people around him, or his boss. These are the people whom Stephen calls as reactive. They don't have any control over their thoughts and are always negative and doesn't want to put efforts and take responsibility. While on the other hand, proactive people have control over their thoughts, make the best out of the situation, and are more likely to succeed. From this habit, we learned that we should strive to become a proactive person instead of reactive to any situation. Now let's come to habit number 2, which is begin with the end in the mind. Now imagine you are going to someone's funeral and when you reach there, you found your family members and friends were mourning. And when you look closely to the casket, you come to a shock. Your own body was lying there. Now Stephen talks about if you are going to die within 3 years, 5 years or maybe 10 years, what would you want to be remembered as? Ask this question to yourself frequently. Whether you want your family and friends to remember you by as a good friend, a hard worker, a loving and happy person, founded his own company, etc. Can be anything, something that makes you happy today also and fulfilled at the end of your life. As we know, any activity before becoming a reality in the world needs to come in the mind first. So if you want to achieve anything or become anyone in life, you need to ask this question first. Now let's come to habit number 3, put first things first. Here, the author is trying to tell you that you need to prioritize your work. Most urgent work needs to be completed first. And you shouldn't procrastinate because procrastination will only lead to more anxiety as you will be doing your work at the last moment. So instead of always feeling that you are too busy, you need to complete urgent work first. When all things will be organized and sorted out, you will always feel less anxious and worried. Instead of wasting time on Facebook, Twitter, watching Netflix or Amazon Prime, prioritize your activities which will benefit you in the long run. Like spending time with your family and loved ones, exercising more, and instead of eating fast food and unhealthy food, you should start eating healthy food. Never say that you don't have time for all the good activities which will serve you in the long run by wasting time on non-important tasks. Now let's come to habit number 4. Think win-win. In order to understand this situation, let's take an example of 2 cows who are tied to a rope and on their both sides food is present. But the problem here is that both cows are trying to run in the opposite direction, thinking that only one can get the food. This is a situation where both are losing and couldn't have the food. The same example goes in our real lives too. People who think only if they can beat the other person they are going to win. But this is not true. And this type of mentality doesn't serve anyone in the long run. So the author is trying to tell you that you need to develop the habit of thinking in a way that all can win. There's nothing scarce in the world, but that scarcity is only in our minds and we need to change that. Now let's come back to the example. Now if both the cows decided to move in the same direction, then they can both enjoy the food. This is what we need to learn through this example. Everyone can win, and we should develop this abundance mentality and take out the solution where everyone can win. Let's take another example. Like, I have a channel on YouTube and have few hundred subscribers on my channel, and there's another channel of same genre. Instead of getting jealous and thinking the other person might take my subscribers, I should look to the bigger picture with win-win mentality. I should reach out to that person for collaboration, thinking that subscribers can subscribe both the channels. There's no limit, and new subscribers will be added too. In this way, both will win in the end. But this clarity can only come when we change our mentality and develop this habit. Now let's come to the habit number 5. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. In this habit, author is telling, in order to be effective, we need to become a good listener first and try to understand others' perspective also. As we can see through this example, the same figure is perceived by one person as 6 and the other person as 9. Both are correct from their point of views, and we need to understand this very clearly, that if we put ourselves in other person's shoes and look from their point of view, we can become very effective as a person and will be able to solve the problems in a better way too. Same happens in the relationships too, where both people are saying their own things but doesn't want to listen each other. That will always result to unhappy relationships. Let's take another example. When you reach a shop and you ask the shopkeeper for something, but instead of listening to you, he started telling about all the things he has in his shop. What will happen? This will definitely annoy you and you will feel frustrated. So from all these examples we learned that we need to develop this habit of understanding other person first instead of expecting to be understood first. Habit number 6. Synergize. You all must have heard this saying, 1 plus 1 equals to 11. This means that if both individuals will work individually, won't be able to give that much of output as compared to if they both work together. This is the power of synergize. People working together in a group can achieve far greater than people working individually. So very basic version of synergy can be seen in studying physiology. Like our heart, brain and stomach are very complex organs individually, but if they work together is extremely very effective. Now let's come to the last habit, that is habit number 7, sharpen the saw. Suppose you saw a person trying to cut the tree. You tell him that he looks tired and you ask him how long he has been cutting the tree. He answers that it's been over 6 hours. You propose that person that he should take a break and sharpen his saw first and the work might go faster. But he refuses that. He says that he is too busy and he has no time for that. From this example, we need to learn, in order to be effective in life, we need to have more strong base and foundation, and that can be built if we work on being physically, mentally, emotionally, socially, and spiritually effective. So this brings us to the end of the summary. If you find this video informative, please hit the like button and do subscribe my channel, as this will help me a lot. For more videos, go to my suggested link at the end. Thank you for watching.